Good morning, students. Hoping you are all well. Today I'm here with unit number 2. In the last few videos, I taught you unit number 1, 5 and 8. So today I'm going to discuss some important questions and answers of unit number 2. So let's start. What is unit number 2? Unit number 2 is proficiency in content. Proficiency in content. So what will be the important questions of this unit? First question, what is SSR? What is SSR? The full form of SSR is the full form of SSR is sustained silent reading. Okay, so you can write SSR means sustained silent reading. Now what is sustained silent reading? It is called also extensive reading. That means, suppose you are glancing over lines which are written on newspaper or your storybook or whatever. So that kind of reading is called sustained silent reading. Okay, you are not giving so much importance to the every lines. You are just glancing over. That is called sustained silent reading, and that is SSR. Okay. So extensive reading is called SSR. Reading large amounts of prose for enjoyment and general comprehension can aid in developing both identification and interpretation skills. Okay. So come to the second question. What is your second question? What do you mean by intensive reading? I told you extensive reading, that is SSR. Now the opposite of extensive reading is intensive reading. So I think you can smell it. What would be the answer? Intensive reading calls attention to the details of a text such as grammatical forms, literal meaning and vocabulary. Programs focused on intensive reading ask students to read shorter texts, typically under 500 words. Texts are often reread and analyzed for meaning. Intensive reading means, you are giving full attention to each and every lines what you are reading, and it would be loud reading. While actually you are going to read a poem or recite a poem or anything you are reading actually loudly so that you can hear it. That is actually intensive reading, and side by side definitely you are also trying to contemplate the meaning. That is called intensive reading. And in this case actually you will reread the lines to understand the meaning. Again and again you will read. That is intensive reading. But in case of actually extensive reading, do we actually reread? Suppose you are reading a newspaper, you are just glancing over it. That is extensive reading, and you can read that actually silently also. But in case of intensive reading, you are reading it loudly and you are actually paying attention fully to the every details, and you are actually rereading it to understand the meaning well. That is intensive reading. Okay. Now the third question is, what are the authentic sources of reading? Authentic sources or genuine sources, pure sources. I'm repeating the question. What are the authentic sources of reading? Authentic sources. Now the authentic sources of reading are newspaper report, folk tales, children's literature, rhymes, stories, notices, etc. They will develop extensive reading habit. Okay. So from newspaper, in case of newspaper, it's a authentic source. Authentic source. And otherwise children's literature, folk tales, stories, these kind of things, these are called actually authentic sources, and that can help also extensive reading habit. Next question, what are the different purposes served by a textbook to a teacher? What are the different purposes served by a textbook to a teacher? You can write the answer like, a textbook plays an important role to a teacher. It can serve different purposes to a teacher. It can be used as a core resource, a source for supplementary material, a guide for assessing students. Textbook is a guide. While you are setting up a textbook, that means you have a particular syllabus, isn't it? And while you have syllabus, that means you are going to give exams of the students. At the end of the year, you can evaluate the educational quality of the students. That's why textbook is there. You have to, so the students actually can go through some specific actually syllabus. Anyway, next question, what is a reading lab? What is a reading lab? The reading lab is a multifaceted component of the reading and study skills departments. Multifaceted component means various types of components. It provides wide reading experiences to the students. It provides wide reading experiences to the students. The students can read widely in the reading lab. They can spend time, by reading books. A huge amount of time they can spend. That's why it is saying that actually wide reading experiences. Okay, students record their answers in their own student record book. Students have their own student record book. Actually, every student has their own respective books, record books, so that they can record. They can record some important notes, whatever they have just read in the reading lab. This kind of facility students can get, and they can get various reading models also in the reading lab. Okay, so these are the important questions from unit number 2. Read these questions. You can get these questions from your textbook also, and listen to it and study hard at your home. So next class I will discuss unit number 3 most probably, and till then, be safe, be well, and study hard.